Go to TAPgiles.com to learn dreams, engage my services, and support the channel. Previously, we built a way for a character to pick up the closest barrel. Check the description for the link to that. Now let's develop the animation system and polish things up. So when we drop it, we'll actually, instead of having it suddenly change, we'll have a little animation. And this should play from the start as well. So it will start from the pose that we have. Yeah, I think I'll set this to 0 quickly so that we can just animate the whole thing in here rather than worrying about 2 sets of animations for the hands as well. And then that should last the rest of it so that it isn't affected by the position of the hands in that keyframe at all. And now we can just worry about this. That. And then at a certain point we'll allow it to drop. So again, we'll just put this into the timeline. And then at the end, after the end of the timeline happens, we'll go back to just walking around mode. So let's see how that looks. Open it up, and then, oh, it's a bit slow-mo, but it kind of works. And then have like a come back to normal thing. So if we just put an empty keyframe and then blend it in, then it will go from that pose to whatever the normal pose is for it standing still, and it will finish that before you can before it will let you do anything else really. So oh, it kind of worked. I think it's because we have this pose up here. Yeah, so I just want to turn that pose off while we're doing this animation. We don't need it anymore. Turn off the poses. And we can even do stuff like animate the tags so that the rotation adjusts so that it kind of ends up falling upright-ish. Let's try that. Isn't it cute? So maybe we can put it on top of there. Maybe you'll freak out. Hey, we did it! We'll disable this puppet interface because we want square and stuff to not be affected. We just want this want to not be able to walk and jump and stuff. We turn puppet interface off. That should still work, because if no signals get into here, then it won't actually do the thing. So cool, so now it works, and if I press square, it puts it down. So now let's spruce up the picking up part with similar kind of animation. So I think I'll just copy that animation actually, and this will happen when it first comes on. So actually we'll power it with the same switch and set that to once mode as well. So there's the end, but this should be the pickup signal. So we don't need it in there, we just put it in there. We basically just want all this to be in reverse, and then so like that will be right at the end. That'll be from there. That's the one that sets it to 0, so let's have that last up until a point. And we will have this stuff hanging off the end. Because it's powered by a switch, a wire, then when it gets to the end, then if this was cut like that, then it will still be powered. You can see they're all still lit. So if there's a little gap, then they won't still be lit. We'll just leave this stuff powered. So we don't need these things. We need that to be the last pose. So put that over here. And now that pose will be powered. And the position, that should work from here on. So let's put that there. And that stuff should work from just right at the end. And then we want to turn this off while we're doing this animation. So I'll just have a keyframe that turns that switch off, which means this is the intro and then the final state is kept alive at the end of this timeline. And then when we want to drop, then it will play this animation and keep this off and then go into a different mode anyway. Yeah, we need like a intro bit, right? So just have another empty keyframe. That'll do. What we really want to do is have this stuff only work while we're not holding anything. So we will have like a just running around chip over here and just move all that stuff in there so that we don't have to worry about this affecting anything at all. The problem now is this is turning off, and so it doesn't think it can be picked up by the time we do the animation stuff. So if we just copy that in here up to the point that we tell it to pick up, which is there, then it should still work. Yay. And then put it down. So we need to remember to also keep the position thing powered until it's dropped as well. There we go. Okay, and then drop it. So that's working. So we also need to turn off that poses, make sure that's still off. Otherwise it'll affect the animations. Yay! And can I still put it on top of there? Yay! Sweet. So I'm going to have it look at the tag that we're actually going to pick up. So we'll just have another tag just to be certain. So this will be to pick up. And we're going to look at it and move towards it. So got that. Make sure that's pointing forwards with the grid. And then a follower, same thing. And we'll have a minimum distance though, so that we don't like just walk all the way into it. So that should be okay. And that will happen right at the start. Yay, and then put it down. Yay!
Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something interesting. Go to patreon.com/TAPgiles to learn something new every day.